Hello BookTube, hello friends, welcome to Lizzie Faye Loves Books. I'm Elizabeth, and it is holiday season. It is here, and I am here today to announce the Holiday Book Bingo. That was created by Sarah from Steeped in Books. I think this is her second year doing the Holiday Bingo. Of course, she's famous for her book bingos. We have now, for several years, done the Summer Romance Book Bingo, and so this year she scaled it down a little bit, and the bingo card is a little bit smaller, but the bingo is going to go from December 1st to December 31st. Of course, the goal is to fill your card, and if you can read one book for each prompt, that's great. If you can't, it's okay to double up. So we are just here to introduce the challenges. Sarah has already put up her video a couple of hours before mine, and I'm sure most of you have already seen hers, but if you haven't, I will leave a link to it down below, and let's just get started. I want to share with you what the prompts are, and then I will come back and give you a few recommendations, and then also I want to do a little giveaway of a Christmas book that I will announce at the end of this video. So let's get started. Now, the bingo, as I mentioned, is going to be 9 prompts for this holiday book bingo instead of the traditional 25, because we only have a month to do it, so it's a little more doable, and so it is scaled down for that reason. But they are great prompts, and they could fit really a lot of different books. They don't even really have to be Christmas books now, or I should say holiday books. They don't have to be Christmas books, but let's just go over them and you'll see what I mean. So the first prompt is to read a book with predominantly red and or green on the cover. The second challenge is to read a traditional holiday book. And what she means by that is something that you traditionally read every year. It doesn't even have to be a holiday themed book, just something that you traditionally read. Then the next prompt is to read a book with lights on the cover. That doesn't even have to be Christmas lights. It can be a candle, or I'm even thinking if there's a car on the cover and its lights are on, that would count. And the next one is to read a book with an animal on the cover. The next one is to read a holiday anthology. Then the next one is to read a book that is part of a series. And on the last row, read a book with Santa on the cover. So this one, would count as Christmas. But, there are still a lot of options. And then the next one is to read a book about a holiday different from your own. And then the last one is to read a book with snow on the cover. So there's really a lot of room for your own interpretations. And so here are a few that I have on my shelf. A lot of these I've read, some of them I haven't, but these are just ideas to get you started. So the first one is to read a book with predominantly red or green on the cover. So I have a couple of red books that are from the Thomas Kincaid Cape Light series. These would also count as being part of a series. These are both farther down in the series. One is book 11, one is book 8. I am currently reading book 2 in the series. The first 4 are not Christmas themed books, and then the whole series after that are all Christmas themed. I don't know that they need to be read in order, and I personally prefer that, but if you want to jump ahead, here are a couple of them that are predominantly red on the covers. And for one that is predominantly green on the cover, also this has lights on the cover, but it has a decorated Christmas tree. This is The Paper Bag Christmas by Kevin Allen Milne. I read this one last year, and it was very good. Okay, then the next one is to read a traditional book that something you traditionally read. Well, we don't have a lot of things in our family that we traditionally read. One that comes to mind, I couldn't lay my hand on it today, is a book that has the 12 Days of Christmas song written out with illustrations. And that's probably the one that we have read the most, at least my daughter Emily and me. But one that came to mind that I actually read last year, we do traditionally watch The Christmas Story. And so I have this novelization of that book. Actually, this is not even a novelization. These are the short stories that were used to put together the storyline for that movie. So this is by Jean Shepherd, and it's really a lot of fun. So then the next one is to read a book with lights on the cover. Well, I already showed you Paper Bag Christmas, but I've got another one here, The Amish Christmas Candle, and this is a book of short stories, so it would also count as reading a book that is an anthology. And then the next one is my favorite. Read a book with an animal on the cover. Well, the possibilities are endless. For some reason, holiday and Christmas books have a lot of animals on the cover. I have 3 right here that have cats on the cover. No, I'm sorry. That's not a cat. I do have 3, though, that have cats on the cover. Where did the third one go? I don't know. Oh, here it is. I read this one last year, Cats Letters to Santa. And then here is Christmas Cats. And then I read this one last year, 9 Lives of Christmas. So I've read these 2, and I thought they were fun. I have not read this one yet, but I believe that this would also be an anthology. It has a lot of different writers. It says it's a literary companion, and it is edited by Shirley Rousseau Murphy, and it's got a lot of contributions from various other authors. So that would be a good one for that. A lot of these would count for more than one challenge. And then it doesn't have to be a cat. You already got a sneak peek of the one I had with a dog on the cover, and now I've misplaced it, but it's here somewhere. Oh, right here. I read this a couple of years ago, I think. The Shepherd, the Angel, and Walter the Christmas Miracle Dog by Dave Barry. This is precious. It's so great. I highly recommend this book. And if you can find this at your library or used bookstore or wherever, definitely you should pick it up. And then, to think outside the box a little bit, doesn't have to be a cat or a dog. Most Amish books have a horse on the cover. Why not read a book with a horse on the cover? This is one that the publisher sent me earlier in the year. I have already read it, by Cindy Woodsmall and Aaron Woodsmall, called The Christmas Remedy. They've sent me an arc of their latest one, and I have not read it yet, but it is on my TBR for this year. And then, even farther outside the box, not even this animal, but just this book in general is way outside the box. I can't even remember what it's about, but I remember it being very unique. This is The Christmas Pig by Kinky Friedman. It's got a pig on the cover. A pig is an animal. If you can get a hold of this book and you want something quirky for Christmas, then grab this. And then the next one is to read a holiday anthology. Well, I've already shown you a couple, but I am partial to these barber books. Some of them are Amish. Most all of them are historical, and they are all collections of stories. This one is A Plain and Sweet Christmas. This one is A Patchwork Christmas, and A Log Cabin Collection. So all of those look great, and I actually have not read those, but I say partial because I love having them on my shelf. I think they're beautiful, and I have been collecting them now for a couple of years, and when I see one, I tend to want to pick it up. So then, another one that I believe could count as an anthology, this is by Bailey White. Now, I don't know if an anthology has to be a compilation of books or stories from different authors, because this is all from one author, but it is a compilation of the radio broadcasts that Bailey White has done at holiday time on NPR, and they're cute and quirky and fun. It's called Nothing But Strings. This is on audio on Hoopla, or at least it used to be when I listened to it, but this is a fun book as well. And then what's the next one? A book that's part of a series. Well, the series I definitely want to recommend to you is by Donna Van Leer. I led this whole series as a read-along last year or year before I think. The first book is The Christmas Shoes, and it's just a wonderful, fantastic series. I highly recommend it. The Christmas Shoes is the first book. The series is called Christmas Hope, and incidentally, the book called Christmas Hope, I think, was my favorite of the series. So that's a definite recommendation from me to you to read any from that series this Christmas. You don't have to go in order, but if you're gonna, you could pick up any one of them and follow along, but if you're gonna read the whole series, I would go from the beginning, because there are characters that are reintroduced as their storyline continues, and so I think it's better to read that one in order. Then the next one is a book with Santa on the cover. Well, I don't think I have any books with just Santa on the cover, but it is allowed for you to read a book with a Santa hat. Excuse that buzzing. We have something on the wall that it's a box that brings in our internet, and it needs a new battery. So I've already shown you a couple of these. This is actually what I read last year for read a book with Santa on the cover, because that's the closest thing I had was a book with a Santa hat on the cover. And I think I have one other one, but I don't know which one it is. Anyway, so that's allowed. And I heard Sarah say in her video, she will even allow a book with antlers on the cover. So, okay. She said it. Then the next one is to read a book about a holiday that is not one that you celebrate, so different from your own. And I don't have one here with me, but last year I enjoyed going to the library and picking from the children's books on Kwanzaa, and I learned a lot about Kwanzaa. I ended up reading one, and I will probably pick another one this year, or I might read one about Hanukkah, but I am very interested in Kwanzaa, and I learned a lot from reading just that children's book. So as far as I'm concerned, children's books are allowed, and go for it. So then the last one is to read a book with snow on the cover. Well, there are lots of selections. These also here count as anthologies: An Amish Second Christmas and An Amish Holiday. I believe this is, well, this has 2 stories, so I don't know if you can consider that an anthology, but anyway, they both have snow on the cover, which is the one that we were talking about. Here's one my sister sent me last year, and Charlotte, I don't think I'm going to get this one read this year either, but it's still on my Christmas shelf, and I hope to get it read soon. This is His Mistletoe Family by Ruth Logan Hearn. It's a love-inspired book from the Men of Allegheny County series. So that looks good. And I guess that's everything I had to show you. That's all of the prompts. So let me know if you plan to participate. Be sure you check out Sarah's video. And I did mention that I was going to do a giveaway. So I would like to give away this art copy of The Christmas Star by Donna Van Leer. This is the most recent book in the Christmas Hope series. And like I said, you don't have to read them in order. You could get this book and you could read it. But there is some character histories that you wouldn't know along, the characters here, some of them have been in previous books. So I think she tells you enough about their history that you would be fine to read it as is. Also, I am willing to give away my copy of Nothing But Strings by Bailey White. Oh, and this has Christmas lights on the cover. There you go. So I would not necessarily have to send these to the same 2 people. If you are interested in either of these, then all you need to do is make a comment down below. You do need to be a subscriber, and make a comment and just put bingo in the comment. And then I will draw one out and I will contact you and I'll ask you which one you want. And if you want to pick one, then I'll send you that one. If you don't care, I'll surprise you. And then I will draw another name, and then I will ask you if you are interested in having whichever book is left over. So that's it for the giveaway. Now, some of you may be wondering, okay, what about all these other giveaways you have introduced and we haven't heard anything? You are absolutely right. I need to still introduce at least 1 or 2 more things that I want to give away, and then I'm going to do one big giveaway video where I announce all of that stuff. It won't be before Thanksgiving because I think I'm going to do a yard sale the Sunday afternoon and Monday before Thanksgiving. So it will be after that, hopefully by December 1st. So you have until then to go back and enter any of my giveaways. And hopefully between now and then, I will get those other quick announcements done. So that's it for this video. I also have coming very soon my October wrap-up. In fact, my daughter Emily is in that video. If you want to tune in and see that, I'm editing it right now. But this one is going up in one take. So if I made a few errors in the video, I apologize. But I'm just going to click send as soon as I get through filming. And that's it, though. That's all I have for this video. I hope you're going to participate in the holiday book bingo. Be sure you check out Sarah's video and her channel if you haven't already. And I hope you're having a great day. Read a good book, and God bless you.